Hey guys, I want to talk about a loadout I'm running now in the assault class, or have been running. I put a video out about this before. The message still doesn't seem to be coming across to a lot of people. I want to kind of reiterate some things and show a little more in depth what I've been talking about. The video in question I'm referring to is the M16 Masterkey video that I put out a couple months ago, and it detailed me running the M26 mass on the underslung rail, the M16A3, and now I've kind of run with that idea and put it on the G3 as well, it's just a deadly combination. But again, here's the weakness of the M26, its range. So now what I've done, and I'll show this in clips throughout this footage, is I've converted to the M26 Dart attachment as opposed to the M26 mass. In the previous video I mentioned that the Dart was weak. I'm wrong on that. It is a little bit weaker than M26 mass buckshot at close range, but it still gets one-shot kills at close range most of the time. I'm not going to say every time, but most of the time. But its range is doubled in comparison to buckshot. So now I'm encouraging you to run the M26 Dart attachment, pretty much the same loadout as I said before. Just use that as opposed to the M26 buckshot. I think you'll be a little more successful with it. But again, I want to talk about the versatility of this weapon. And guys, you got to get away from that foregrip. I mean, I'm just telling you right now, the assault class weapons really don't need foregrips, and that's what everybody wants to run on there. And you're really wasting a critical attachment that you could be putting on these weapons. I'm talking in particular again the M16A3, A4, the M4 on the assault class weapon, of course the G3 here, and any other weapon that can accommodate an underslung rail, because having that ability to put on this shotgun really, I mean, it just, have to say, I mean, it doubles your effectiveness as an assault class person, because there's so many times, when you get guys at close range, and granted, you can, a lot of these clips I'm showing, you could indeed kill that person with just your weapon alone, but you're going to sacrifice, half your clip just to kill a guy at that range, and if you have multiple enemies in the area, you don't have time to reload and waste all that ammo. So having this ability to pull out a shotgun, it really kind of makes you, like a super soldier. I mean, you can see guys run around with those 870 combat shotguns. I mean, that's what you, in essence, are right here. I mean, look at this clip coming up here. Just 3 in a row, one at a time. Just 1, and 2, and 3. It's like, why don't people run this? I mean, every time I run this class, and again, I don't play assault class that much because I'm always trying to, be an engineer or, deal with vehicles. But whenever I'm on infantry mats, or now that I'm playing like squad deathmatch more and team deathmatch, I mean, this is what I'm running. And I mean, it's just unstoppable. Again, here's Operation Firestorm. Notice this loadout, I have the G3, I've got an ACOG scope, and I've got the shotgun. So now I'm basically capable of being, a formidable opponent at any range. Long range, short range, medium range, I've got it all covered here with this weapon. And it's devastatingly effective, and people, again, just do not run this class, and I just don't know what more I can do to get the message out here that you guys gotta be running this. Here's the M26 Dart. Look at the range of that first kill I just got. I mean, just unbelievable range. This thing, I think one shot kill, I've had this thing kill out to 30 feet, I'm not kidding you. That far away, one shot, and that guy had full health too. So, that's, not only does it, again, I've mentioned this before, time is everything in this game. So if you're wasting a lot of time trying to kill one guy and using all your ammo, you are going to be vulnerable to attack, whereas if you can just whip out this attachment real quick, put him down in one shot, you can certainly move on to, bigger and better things, and attacking multiple enemies, or moving in a cover, whatever. The longer you spend trying to screw around killing guys, look at this. Again, that's the versatility I'm talking about. I was killing those guys at short range. Look how quick the transition is there to go back to my rifle, put them down there at medium range, and just so quickly. Now this clip I want to talk about some strategy. This is Sane Crossing, I believe, team deathmatch. You see how I see those enemies over there? I got that guy one. I know I saw on the mini-map a guy coming towards this position. I'm going to let him come to me, like I usually do. I'm going to push up here, and anytime I'm running around, I switch to my M26, because when you're running, there's no reason, you know, I anticipate that at that range I'm going to have close range engagements. Now I see the whole team's over here. I know I'm at a disadvantage, so now it's time to pull back. So we're going to pull back here. Again, I know they're going to come down this alleyway. If my teammate makes a mistake of going back out there, again, that's a fail right there in this part. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to retreat back here, cover my back, and now I'm going to watch the staircase. Because again, I know they're going to be coming down here. It's almost like common sense. I don't get those kills, so now I'm going to pull off again. You know, you never stick around when you're not winning engagement, especially with 12% health. I'm going to go around here, I'm going to flake those two guys, because I know they're waiting for me to stick my head back out like most people usually do. And I saw a piece of this guy, so I'm going to come over here and take advantage of the element of surprise with this weapon. You know, it's like, again, those ranges, one-shot kills. I mean, it just really... Right there, I was a little sloppy. Granted, my aim was off a bit there, but, I mean, having the ability to kill a guy with really one shot, and even if you don't give him a one shot, the suppressive effect of this weapon is just devastating. I mean, it just shuts them down. I mean, it's a shotgun in their face, so they really can't see or aim or all. So even if you're on a head-to-head engagement and you miss them, a lot of times you're going to win it. But again, here's a good range of the dart. That's about perfect right there, I'd say. And that's about 10 to 15 feet. And, you know, that's, again, I'd say about 70 to 80% better than the M26 buckshot. So you'll get a chance to see much more clips here with me running this again. Grand Bazaar here. Great loadout with the G3 again. I just love this gun. I'd encourage you to run maybe a suppressor with it a lot of times, because I find that's being a little more controllable as opposed to, I mean, what just happened there? I turn around and take that guy out with one shot. I mean, wow, I bet he's pissed. But having the suppressor really makes this gun a little more controllable with the vertical recoil. The heavy barrel just makes it, I'm not really seeing the advantage of it much anymore. It really adds to the recoil of the weapon. I mean, granted, it gives you, the ability to hold the damage a little bit longer with this gun, which is what it's good for. But again, I don't think that outweighs the benefit of surprise, having that suppressive, or the suppressor on the weapon. Also, you can notice here in the bottom right hand corner, I always run this gun single shot for the most part. I mean, you only got 20 rounds of the clip. You can see my review of this weapon and how I recommend you handle this weapon. But again, semi-automatic fire is my mainstay weapon choice and fire mode. So again, get away from the foregrip, guys. I don't really see, people think the foregrip is the magic answer-all solution to their problems. It's not. All it does is reduce left and right recoil. It has nothing to do with vertical recoil in your weapon, unless you got it on a SKS or like a recon class weapon. That's the only time, and maybe LMGs as well. That's the only time that the grip has anything to do at all with vertical recoil. The rest of it on these assault class weapons, all it does is just kind of handle the lateral side-to-side sway of your weapon. So I see people put too much emphasis on the foregrip. Unless you're running maybe like the L85 in the assault class, anything that doesn't have the ability to have an under-mounted rail, then you probably want to stick with your grip. But other than that, again, these weapons with the underslung rails are just so effective. I mean, it really just multiplies the effectiveness of the weapon. It gives you a whole nother range of scenarios where you're effective. Watch this clip right here. There's two guys to my left who would take them both out in one shot apiece. I mean, just look how quick that is. I mean, you couldn't do that with any kind of, imagine you had a FAMAS in that scenario. What would have happened? You probably would have got both those guys, but you would have certainly been out of ammo, whereas I had an entire clip ready to go, after basically using my shotgun for the range it should be, and then saving my bullets for, other encounters. So there's so many times in assault class where I'm just like, you're constantly reloading. You're reloading, and it gets so old that you are always out of bullets. And as soon as you kill one guy, you're reloading, and then it's inevitable that another guy will run around that corner during your reload, and then you're done. So, again, when you know an enemy's coming at you, just pop this thing out, take him out, and then you can move on. And you don't have to worry about reload. I mean, this thing holds like 6 shots. That's, I mean, if you think about that, that's theoretically 6 enemies you could kill with just, the shotgun alone. And notice how when I'm running corridors like this, when I'm, anticipating being surprised and I'm not exactly sure where the enemy is, I mean, in these kind of areas, I am always having the shotgun out. I mean, it basically makes me like run around with an 870 pump action shotgun. Now, it doesn't do as much damage as the 870, but it does enough to kill him in one shot, and that's all I care about, right? So, it kind of puts you in a completely different mindset when you run this loadout, because now you realize, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and that kind of opens your mind to the situational awareness of the battlefield environment, knowing, kind of where the enemy may be and how you accommodate your strategy. Like here I'm kind of assessing, now I've got long range shot engagements out here, so now I'm watching out around the hills and the edges. Now as I approach the corridors in here, that's when I want to start thinking about pulling out the shotgun again if I'm going to run inside this building. But out here in the open, I'm comfortable running around with this, my normal weapon, like as it would be. There's my assault rifle medal. And again, here's that. I think this is the clip I saw about. See, you look at the range on this weapon still, even with the suppressor on it. Pretty effective weapon. That's again semi-automatic fire mode. So this is I believe this is the last clip I wanted to show. Yep, this is the last clip, guys. Again, Grand Bazaar. On this loadout now, I'm back to the, I think this is the M26 buckshot. It's still good attachment, don't get me wrong, I got most of my kills with that, but now again I'm transitioning to the Dart. But right up here on the bridge, you'll see me switch to it, and you always have these guys running up on these bridges at close range. And that's where this weapon again is really good to shine, because the G3 just sucks at close range, let me help you frank. It is not its strength to be, at a short range engagement. The fire rate's too slow, and there's not enough clips in the magazine to really kind of, compensate for the element of surprise enemies you have on you when you don't expect them coming out of a corner. So it's not going to be the same in comparison to like an M16 or an M4. So again, having that ability for short range attack is vital, but you just again want to make sure that first shot counts, because more likely engagement under 5 feet. If you miss and the enemy is on, you're probably going to lose that engagement. But you still have a better chance of winning the engagement with it as opposed to without it. So here's the last 2 kills I want to talk about. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope it helped you out. Make sure to try this class. I've just not seen people do it, and that's a fail on their behalf, because this just multiplies the assault class effectiveness by a factor of 2 or more. But thanks again for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the video if it helped you out.